This is the NBA playoffs on EA Sports. We're ready for tip-off, and these fans are as well. It's their home team getting set to match up with a very formidable opponent. Alongside Jay Williams, I'm Ed Cohen. Jay, this crowd is hyped, and you look at their guys coming in. They appear to be fired up and ready to go. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a good one.
And the big thing here was getting that all-important split on the road. Now they come home with home court advantage and an opportunity to move ahead in this series if they can take care of business in Game 3.
To Kyle Kuzma. LeBron James wants it, and he scores on the step back. The maturity of one of the game's greatest on full display.
Yeah, LeBron James still proving that he can get up there with the highest of the high. But still, I love the fact that he recognizes less is more now. LeBron James 2007, every play is a dunk. Now it just happens once in a while. Enjoy the greatness.
A drive to the basket, but the shot rattles around and out. Schroeder to Caldwell Pope. Kuzma to Caldwell Pope. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Over to the right side to Caldwell Pope. From long range, hits it in the foul. And a chance now at a 4-point play.
Most definitely contact on that forearm during the follow-through. You have to give the offensive player a lot of credit. The concentration you need to make a shot after getting fouled, that's big time.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with a chance at a 4-point play. For his career, 78% at the line. Three-pointer and now a free throw on the trip. Here's Paul, controlling the offense to Booker. From the painted area, won't go down. Caldwell Pope picked up by Booker. To James. Davis to James. 5 to shoot for Los Angeles. Chance for LeBron James. Deep 2 there, won't go. To Paul. Shot from the lane won't go.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
A pass stolen by Phoenix. Paul. Can't connect from in close. Caldwell Pope to Schroeder. He's denied.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Paul. Booker. And stuffs it home.
Just remember that old saying here. You're only as good as your last shot, and your last shot went in. So it's time to get going.
LBJ with it. Take stock of the floor. Nothing going here on that drive. LeBron James, 2 of 4 now.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
To Mikal Bridges. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul to Mikal Bridges. And it's Davis for the rebound. Here's Schroeder with it. 8-2 our score. Oh, the Suns come up with the steal. Mikal Bridges with the strong finish.
You know, Ed, the effort is what concerns me the most. Effort is replenishable. If you're tired, raise your hand, check yourself out. Get somebody who actually wants to get back in transition and play some defense. That will help your team win the game, not you just staying in the game to be better on offense.
Caldwell Pope in a matchup with Booker. It's James. His first effort off the mark. To Paul. Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton. Good luck keeping up with that.
Did you see that jump? It was as quick as a pogo stick.
LBJ to Davis. Caldwell Pope. Surveys the floor. Baseline drive. Fights through traffic to slam it down.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Paul, here again Schroeder. To Booker. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
The free throw is good. It's back to a one-point game. Los Angeles, they have it. Kuzma to Schroeder. To James. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Here's James. And the Suns secure the rebound. And the slam.
When the ball is in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Across the timeline comes James. Down by 1. Kuzma to Schroeder. 5 to shoot for Los Angeles. Not that time. Into the front court. It's Booker. Leads just a point. The drive. Right to the basket. Short jumper. Won't fall. Schroeder with the basketball. Looking to make something happen to James. Nice pass to get things going.
This offseason, I heard so many voices, even that of the great Shaquille O'Neal, talking about how LBJ needed to cement his own legacy. Well, for LeBron, it's not about chasing external accolades. It's about hunting your own legacy, and that's to be the greatest of all time.
New blood coming in for both sides. Booker to Paul. Has a chance. A shot no good there for Booker. Cook to bring it into the front court. His team up by 1. to James. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Down the lane, but the shot won't fall. Mikal Bridges rises for the slam.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Suns control the possession. Paul. Trying to cash in. The screen sets him up for 2.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
James. And the Suns right there for the rebound. Booker with it. Leads 3. The pass taken away by the Lakers. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go. Paul into the front court. He'll run the offense. Here comes the screen. Gets a look. Can't hit. Lakers at the controls right now. Quinn Cook against Chris Paul. Probing the defense. Has a look. Cook shot won't go. Now Paul with the basketball. Up by 3. And he's fouled. And he earns a trip to the line.
That's actually not a bad move at all. You're applying more pressure on him by sending him to the line.
DeAndre Ayton at the line. First one, count it. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. It's Cook with the basketball. Trailing by 4. Taken by the Suns. Cruises inside for 2.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
T.J. Warren tips it. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Dario Saric. James picked up by T.J. Warren. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
It's Phoenix ball. Sizing up the defense. Chance for Chris Paul. Not that time. Smith to Drummond. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
James into the front court. Down 4. Screen coming. Smith to Drummond. The big fella, Andre Drummond. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
That's the kind of defense they're going to play on him all night. Even though he made that shot, he knows there's nothing easy about this game.
DeAndre Ayton. To Paul. It's a big finish.
Tie ball game so far. Neither one of these teams really able to pull ahead. Might be time to put the bench players in the game, and let's see who could differentiate themselves.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Good defense by the Lakers. They come away with the steal. Quinn Cook against Chris Paul. Nothing going here on that drive. Here's CP3. Ooh, Chris Paul. 2 for 3 now here in the first. This for the tie. That's the end of one here in game number 3. Jay and I back with more after this. This is the first round of the West playoffs on EA Sports. Time to turn the page after a close first quarter. Jay, what stood out?
And when both teams are playing at this level, it just continues to reaffirm that I was excited to watch both of these teams play this entire week. It's been a solid game so far, but this has a chance to be a great one down the stretch.
To Kyle Kuzma. Short jumper stays out. Knocks it down from mid-range.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Lakers ball. Paul, here again Schroeder. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Schroeder. Smith to Kyle Kuzma. For 3. Kyle Kuzma is going to get a chance at 3 here. A career 70% free throw shooter. And he connects on the first free throw. Knocks down the second free throw.
Good shot.
And he cashes in at the line. 3 for 3. With the rock, it's Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton to Paul. Probing the defense. Here comes the screen. Paul. Stuffs it down with authority.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Schroeder to Gasol. Has a chance. Shot by Gasol, no good. Paul into the front court. Leads 5. DeAndre Ayton to Paul. Trying to cash in. Shot by Paul won't go.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you're forcing to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket. You're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
5 to shoot for Los Angeles. Has a look. And the rebound taken down by the Suns. Down to Warren. Almost. And he's not getting the call. Smith with it up top. 5-point game. It's AD for 2. Doesn't get the bounce. Driving right to the basket. Wide open look, won't go.
This game is all about the small victories, though. The execution on that play was on point. You keep executing like that, those shots are going in eventually.
Smith to Kyle Kuzma. Screen coming. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Hey, look, pretty dudes can mix it up once in a while too, I guess.
Here's Paul, controlling the offense. The pass taken away by the Lakers. Curling inside. Smith on the drive, but his shot won't fall. Paul, guarded by Gasol. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock, and he can't get it to go down. It's no good. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. Down 3. To J.R. Smith. Schroeder. The big fella, Andre Drummond. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Here comes the screen. Paul. Andre Drummond able to recover with the block.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Here's Schroeder with it. They trail by 1. To J.R. Smith. Schroeder picked up by T.J. Warren. Five on the shot clock. Has a chance. A shot no good there for Kuzma.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
No, great defense there, forcing the pickup. DeAndre Ayton. Chance for Paul. And the Lakers clear. Kuzma, guarded by CP3. Schroeder to Kyle Kuzma. Schroeder to J.R. Smith. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Kyle Kuzma. No good. That's great defense.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Counted, and the foul. He is going to the line for a free throw.
Oh, he should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Off the mark on his free throw. DeAndre Ayton. Working the outside. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Textbook defense. Kuzma to Caldwell Pope. From the outside, no good.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Schroeder with the basketball. Leads 1 to Caldwell Pope. Schroeder to Drummond. The big fella, Andre Drummond. He's now 5 for 6.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Here comes the screen. DeAndre Ayton. The Suns with 4 to shoot. Good defense by the Lakers. They come away with the steal.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Now whistle and a timeout for Phoenix. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. To Paul. Lets it fly from long range. Oh, that's how it's done.
For average shooters, that's not a great shot. But for a great shooter, that's a good look.
Cook to bring it into the front court. 2-point advantage. James to Caldwell Pope. No good. Defense catching a break there. Paul across the timeline. Down 2. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. It's Paul for 2. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Davis. To Caldwell Pope. James. To Caldwell Pope. They'll get it down to Davis. Shot from in close. No good. Paul. DeAndre Ayton. Beyond the arc for 3. Not that time. He missed it. To James. Davis. To James. Five seconds to shoot. Caldwell Pope. Off the mark. No good. Paul with it up top. Down just a couple. Here comes the screen. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Gets to the basket and scores.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
To Caldwell Pope. Quinn Cook, guarded by CP3. That's going to be out of bounds. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Kuzma. 5 to shoot for Los Angeles. Kuzma to Caldwell Pope. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Rebound Bridges. To Mikal Bridges. DeAndre Ayton. Mikal Bridges with the strong finish.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's
the 2021 NBA Playoffs one-round games and highlights will be coming up next on Sports Screen Vein 2021.
Phoenix with it. To Mikal Bridges. He's He's going to the free throw line to shoot.
And as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Brooklyn Nets led Series 2-0 over Boston Celtics in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Off the mark on the first free throw. Second one goes. It's a 1-of-2 trip. LeBron with it up top. Counting down toward a minute to go in this first half.
Philadelphia 76ers led Series 2-0 over Washington Wizards in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Bread and butter, and there are a few that can do it better off the screen.
With the rock, it's Chris Paul. The drive, right to the basket. Knocks it down on the step back. That was not easy.
It can only be one of two things here. One, the defender ran out of gas. Or two, this dude is just unstoppable.
Caldwell Pope to James. Here comes the screen.
He sent that one
New
to
York
the third
Knicks
row.
led Series 2-0 over Atlanta Hawks in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Quarter 3 at the buzzer. So the two teams will head to the locker room as we reach the break here in game number 3. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
It's time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Suns will start the second half with a narrow lead. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. Have a look at the leading scorers to the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers are within striking distance at the half. I love the way they gave each other
Los Angeles Clippers led Series 2-0 over Dallas Mavericks in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Game trap. Steals.
That must have been a difficult half of basketball for these coaches to watch. Neither team was able to hold on to the ball, as you can see by the steals in these highlights. Still, some credit should go to the guys with the active hands.
Player of the half.
Ayton has been a defensive force in this matchup. If he's not stealing the ball, he's swatting it. And that combination has made for an incredible half.
Who was cold?
Denver Nuggets led Series 2-1 over Portland Trail Blazers in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Here are the top plays from the opening half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
Into the front court, it's Booker, up by 3.
The 2021 NBA playoffs one-round games and highlights will be coming up next on Sports Bluebane 2021. Brooklyn Nets led Series 2-0 over Boston Celtics in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round Season 8 games. Philadelphia 76ers led Series 2-0 over Washington Wizards in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round Season 8 games. New York Knicks led Series 2-0 over Atlanta Hawks in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round Season 8 games. Los Angeles Clippers led Series 2-0 over Dallas Mavericks in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round Season 8 games. Denver Nuggets led Series 2-1 over Portland Trail Blazers in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round Season 8 games.
DeAndre Ayton to Paul. Curling inside, Paul. 4-3.
Milwaukee Bucks led Series 2-1 over Miami Heat in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round Season 8
Might be
games.
time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
James to Davis. Anthony Davis. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2. Who compares to AD offensively?
We would be doing a disservice if we compared AD just to one player. He's an amalgamation. Think about Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Marcus Camby. Throw them all into a blender, you get Anthony Davis.
Booker. Spinning shot, won't fall.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
And count the basket.
Underutilized, underutilized, underutilized. Am I getting my point across? Let's see more of that.
Phoenix has the ball. Paul. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul to Booker. Has a look. Booker shot off the mark. Kuzma to James. Slams it down, and there was no stopping him that time.
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
Screen coming. Paul. Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton. Good luck keeping up with that.
Did you see that jump? It was as quick as a pogo stick.
LeBron into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Down low for Davis. And the finish. Slam dunk. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters. But when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
It's good. Count the basket and the foul.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Free throw good to finish off the three-point play. The lead is up to 5. LeBron into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Caldwell Pope to James. Kuzma to James. Easy path to the rim.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Paul into the front court. Leads 3. And the Lakers with the rebound. Across the timeline comes James. He'll run the offense. Stuffs it down with authority.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Here's Paul, controlling the offense. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
It's so difficult to block a guy like that with that kind of athleticism and length. Your timing almost has to be perfect, but pretty much there's no stopping him when he's around the rim.
Schroeder to James. Knocks it down from mid-range. To Paul. Flushes it home.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Now Paul with the basketball. Leads 1. Fires the 3. And the rebound taken down by the Lakers. James to Davis. Terrific vision. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Gets toughness right there. Physical inside. Gets it to go.
Sometimes you hear people give all these fancy breakdowns, tell you all these different things they can do. That was just plain old simple bully basketball. Muscled his way through the lane.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
LeBron James trying to cash in on a 3-point play. For his career, 73%. Got it from the line. Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. To Mikal Bridges. The shot, almost.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. Anthony Davis looking good, 4 for 5.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Paul into the front court. His group now down 2. And the Lakers have the rebound. To James. Davis. He'll get it down low to Harold. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Paul across the timeline. His guys find themselves trailing by a bucket. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
DeAndre Ayton at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest. Add one more to his total. LeBron James with the rock. Stuffs it down with authority.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Paul with it up top. His guys now trailing by a point. The pass taken away by the Lakers.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
No good. Crawford. Here's a chance from long range. Can't go down. Smothering defense. Smith now into the front court. His team up by one. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
It's not every day that you see a 6'9", 265-pound freight train coming down the lane. You probably want to step out of the way.
Paul. Anthony Davis. Huge block.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence.
Stuffs it down with authority.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Paul into the front court. The deficit now up to 5. Anthony Davis swats it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Paul. Just not going down.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
With the rock, it's Chris Paul. Doesn't have the touch. No good. It's Cook with the basketball. His team up by 7. Now preparing to shoot at the line.
That's actually not a bad move at all. You're applying more pressure on him by sending him to the line.
Montrezl Harrell, couple of free throws on the way. Numbers not in his favor, 61% for his career. First try, no good. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Now a whistle. We'll get a timeout from Phoenix as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Chance for Chris Paul. Just off the mark.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
Down to 5 on the 24. And he drains it.
And the true test of a team's character is how they respond when they get hit in the mouth. Keep digging.
Here's Paul, controlling the offense. surveys the floor. Anthony Davis pins it.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Paul. Add 2 points to the board.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. The pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
It's Suns ball. Paul. Here comes the screen. Anthony Davis sends it away.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
To Davis, down low. Slam dunk.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Now Paul with the basketball. The deficit now up to a dozen. He throws it down. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
LeBron, guarded by T.J. Warren. Wong Hee from three-quarters court, three-quarters down with the Lakers in command. It'll be Lakers ball as we begin the fourth quarter. And this one, Jay, not totally in the win column yet, but with a double-digit lead, you have to like their chances.
I love when I start seeing fans exit the arena so early in this game, and I hear people say, this one should be in the bag. Well, guess what? It's never a guarantee. You have to be careful not to slow down the pace of the game and take the air out of the basketball. You have to put your foot on the gas and try to win this game with a sense of urgency.
Jumper's good.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
They'll get it down to Booker. From the painted area, won't go down. Cook to bring it into the front court. The lead is 15. James to Gasol. And he throws it down. Andre Drummond with the slam.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Knocks it down off the step back.
Oh, he buckled his knees so bad, it didn't matter if he scored or not. That's a win for the internet.
Here comes the screen. James, deep left corner. To James. Passed it off. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Suns control the possession. Booker. Daniels, guarded by Cook. To Booker. And he scores. Unguardable, Jay.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
To Gasol. Caldwell Pope. Great dish to set it up. Oh, he had it. To Booker. Here comes the screen. Booker. 5 on the shot clock for Phoenix. The screen sets him up for two.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
James into the front court. His team on top by 13. Caldwell Pope to James. From the outside, no good.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton. He's been a one-man show, but Jay, they're still down in this one.
He's their lone bright star, their only star tonight. Some other of the supporting cast members really need to step up.
To James. Working hard on the glass. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
LeBron James trying to cash in on a three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. One free throw up and good. The lead now 14. It's Phoenix ball. Booker. Probing the defense. To Mikal Bridges. Deep two there, won't go.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
Booker with it. Down a bundle. To Mikal Bridges. To Booker. Fires the three. Smothering D.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go. Into the front court. It's Booker. His guys down big. Look out. Devin Booker. Now 3 for 9. Los Angeles has the basketball. James to Schroeder. Sizing up the defense. James to Caldwell Pope. Drummond. The jumper's off the mark. The follow won't go either. Booker with it. 14-point deficit. Rebound Drummond. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. He'll run the offense. To James. Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Here comes the screen. DeAndre Ayton. And scores at the rim. Beautifully done with the Euro step.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You're always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. James to Caldwell Pope. And the two. The finish at the rim for Drummond.
This is where I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
DeAndre Ayton. The pass set it all up.
There's no better feeling after a game after you had 25-plus assists and you won the game, and everybody recognizes that it's time for their bank accounts to get rewarded.
Here comes the screen. James to Kyle Kuzma. Over to the right side. From long range. Nobody even close. Count the basket for Caldwell Pope.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough two than a wide-open three.
Oh, good defense by the Lakers. They come away with the steal. James to Drummond. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Andre Drummond at the line for a chance at a three-point play. He's struggled so far. And he missed the free throw. Paul into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Short jumper stays out. Knocked loose. Lakers come up with it. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Wide open. Too easy. You can't give him that look.
There is no better feeling than after making that shot and trotting back on defense, seeing your opponent stare, point, or yell at each other for miscommunication.
To James. Kicks it around the perimeter. Caldwell Pope. To James. 24-second violation. Paul against Schroeder. To Booker. Short jumper misses.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
To Caldwell Pope. James. To Drummond. Able to convert inside.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ballgame.
Paul. Here comes the screen. First free throw is good. So he hits the first, misses the second. Here's Schroeder with it. His guys hold a commanding lead. To Drummond. Scores from the post.
I remember my high school coach said one man can't beat five. Well, I'm telling you right now, he lied. I'm watching it happen in person.
Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called. Another shot won't go either. To Schroeder.
Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Phoenix with it. To Paul. That's usually one that he'll knock down.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
Mikal Bridges. And finishes strong.
I don't think I could do that on the 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Schroeder with the basketball. His guys holding the big lead. To Caldwell Pope. Screen coming. Kentavious Caldwell Pope. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%.
Man, if we were at Rucker Park right now, everybody will be wilding on the court. Guarantee it.
Here comes the screen. No, great defense there, forcing the pickup. Goes to the right side. Defense making the ball handler work. Andre Drummond with the block.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Dennis Schroeder trying to cash in on a three-point play. For his career, 82%. Free throws good. Add one more to the total. This game feels out of reach. To Booker. Paul. Hauled in by James.
The game is won in the details. The team who has the most attention to the minutia is a team that wins the ball game. And from the beginning of this game, this team... Oh! He just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Okay, they're lucky they get the ball back. Davis. Look at the fight for that ball. We'll get a jump. They're set to jump it up to see who gets possession. 5 to shoot for Los Angeles. Has a chance with the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket. Deep three at the buzzer. The Lakers get the victory. They moved ahead 2-1 in this best-of-7 series. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Lakers added a win with today's solid victory, and the way they attacked the rim was outstanding. Not only is the dunk a high-percentage shot, it's also a great way to test the confidence of the defense. Check out the leading scores for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Suns put up a fight, but didn't get their hands raised at the end. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, You could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Check out the leading scores for the Phoenix Suns.
Game track. Bench points.
The Los Angeles Lakers can confidently say it was the player of their substitutes that was a big reason, if not the biggest reason, for their success today. Tremendous job by the reserves to be impactful in this matchup.
Player of the game.
The chosen one seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again. He kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing.
Who was gold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of Ed Cohen and Jay Williams, this is Jalen Rose signing off.